What's going on, everybody? It is your bro here, Controversy. And today, guys, I'm going to be reviewing Peso's second album, Don't Look Down. And you guys may not know who Peso is. Some context on the rapper. He's essentially a rapper that hails from Cleveland, Ohio, similar to the likes of Will Cherry. So shout out to Will Cherry, my man. I'm telling you, bro, Cleveland is going up, bro. I mean, you have you got a lot of great acts coming out from Cleveland, man. Like, damn. First, I came across Will Cherry, and now I come across Peso. This dude, damn, bro. Much love to Cleveland. Much love to Cleveland. All right, but I basically, just took notes of like each and every song, kind of giving my thoughts on it. So I'm going to go off that. I want my reviews to be a lot more organized, because what I would just do in the past, I would just like get bits and pieces of what I remember from each song and just talk about them. And it just left a lot of room for, and I just left out a bunch of, other details that I didn't focus on. And yeah, I thought this would be more organized, but yeah, let's get to it. So the production, man, I'm going to first talk about the production of the entire album. It's quite interesting. It consists of some hip hop, some R&B, some jazz, and also this really unique Funkadelic sound, which I honestly just came to appreciate. It was really good. Especially the Funkadelic sound reminded me a lot of Ice Cube's 2018 project, Everything's Corrupt. You got some songs where he's like rapping over some Funkadelic beats, and it's just quite nice. It quite reminded me of that. I thought that was pretty cool. But as for the songs, man, the first song, Going Up, and I'm gonna go talk about each song, give my take on it. First song, Going Up, man, the beat in Going Up features a guitar mixed in with an upbeat soul and some light percussion. I thought it was quite nice. And one thing I also got to give some props to Peso for doing, I just love how his flow, like Peso, I love how your flow was like you really blended your flow well with the beat. I mean, especially once you got to the hook, your voice kind of went from, how do I say it? It went from, I would say, smaller to louder. I just loved how you kind of switched up your flow to fit the beat. I thought that was quite nice and just really impressive. But the main theme of Going Up, essentially, just talks about Peso, and he feels that as an artist, he needs to get more praise for his music. He expects a lot of praise for his music, because he puts a lot of effort into it. I can completely relate to that, Peso. I feel that, it's just, I feel that I also need to get a lot of praise for what I do, because I put a lot of effort into my music, and I also feel that way. It's good to have praise and appreciation for what you do. And in the first verse, Peso comes in with a really strong opening first verse, in my opinion. He's quite conscious. He talks about that he feels that he needs to give back to his city. He needs to, and the youth out. And I thought that was just quite amazing, quite powerful. When he mentioned the youth and giving back to his city, I thought that was great. And the hook, man, oh my God, the hook is absolutely amazing. Peso, you absolutely killed the hook, and it seems to be a consistent theme in every single song. I just loved how Peso, your singing is absolutely amazing, man. Oh my God. Basically the hook, what I got from the hook is basically just him saying that just reflecting on life and on how good things don't always last, and that's true. Good times always have to come to an end. And he just basically talks about on how us people nowadays, we really don't know what we have until it's gone. We don't come to appreciate things when we have them. And after they're gone, that's when we start appreciating the things that we have. But it's it's too late. But yeah, man, all of these songs just really tend to have such a consistent theme. There's this theme where Peso feels that there's just a lot of these other elements outside of his control that he can't control, and he feels that all the things that's happening in the world, all these problems are affecting him negatively, as far as emotion and mindset comes, and he just feels that all of these things are going to be the effect to his downfall. All right, man, but some pros that I really noted in this song, Going Down, the singing was amazing. Just wow. I also loved how I loved Peso's flow. Peso, your flow was amazing, bro. I loved it. But I just have a couple of complaints. I feel like you made Peso, I feel like you made the hook way too long. I just feel like you made it way too long. I feel like I don't know, like your first verse was amazing, but I feel like you made the hook too long. I feel like it really shouldn't have been a minute long. I feel like what you could have done, it would have been good for you to add like a second verse to that song, you know, maybe like provide more emphasis or more in-depth um in-depth vocals of what you said in the first verse. Like you could have added on to what you said in the first verse. Like, you know, you talked about the youth giving back to the city. It would have been really cool if you like emphasized that a lot more with a second verse. I just feel like you made the hook way too long. And also I feel like you got to work on your pronunciation a lot more. You know, sometimes I could not understand what you were saying, but man, overall, man, it was a good track. Pretty good track, man. I liked it. I just feel like, again, you know, don't try to make the hooks too long. Add more emphasis to the first verse and work on pronunciation, because that's one thing that I kind of noted as listening to every song. All right, but the next track, Downhill. The beat in Downhill features a hard percussion mixed in with a funkadelic type of beat. You know, there's a lot of funkadelic type of production in this album. I quite liked. And the main theme of Downhill, it just talks about Peso. We kind of get a glimpse of Peso's political beliefs, believing that the government is corrupted, and he essentially, for himself, he honestly didn't really need anybody telling him, you know, like what he could do with his life. He kind of, if he had a dream, he was gonna follow it. He wasn't gonna let any teacher or, you know, any school tell him like what he should do with himself. And I honestly just quite appreciate that. Much respect for that, man, for real. Like, you should definitely follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you what you should do with yourself. And essentially, and there's times when I notice a pattern in this song. This song relates to the whole title of the album, Don't Look Down, very well. There's times when Peso is feeling triumphant with himself. You know, he feels like he can succeed. But there's also times where Peso just feels that there's like bad habits and certain problems in his life that he just can't control. There's times when these bad habits and problems in his life will affect him and will essentially lead to his downfall. And he can't control that. So there's times when he feels triumphant, but there's also times when the real world just will contribute to his downfall. He knows it. And yeah, man. And like, again, there's really a consistent theme of perseverance in this album. It seems that Peso is a dude who just, I mean, he's been through a lot. It seems like it. And it seems that what he has to do now is just focus on his kids, because yeah, he has a kid. I thought that was cool. He feels like he needs to focus on his family. He has to do it for them. He has to stay strong, be triumphant, and just don't look down, you know, just avoid all the bullshit that the world gives you. Overall, man, oh yeah, one thing I liked about this song is that towards the end of the song, Peso's voice kind of trails off in a way that it makes it sound like he's actually falling, you know, thus the entire title of the song, Downfall. And I thought this was a really cool effect in the production. I thought it was cool that Peso made his voice trail off, you know, to make it sound like he's actually falling. It ties up the entire song so perfectly. So much props to that, man. I loved the production, man. The production, just amazing, just absolutely amazing. Some cons, again, you know, again, Peso, pronunciation, that is key, because there's a lot of times where I just don't know what you're saying, you know, pronunciation. And yeah, man. But yo, overall, pretty good track. My favorite track definitely from this album has to be Going Up, you know, and yeah, good track, man. The third track, As Far As I See. Now the beat to As Far As I See, you know, it's basically some chill, laid back percussion with some guitar. It features some Funkadelic production again, you know. It seems that most of these songs have like a sort of Funkadelic production to it. I mean, he did. I think Peso did. Peso, I think you told me that. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But yeah, man, the beat, I thought it was pretty nice. You know, something to just chill back and, you know, just vibe. The main theme in As Far As I See, it basically just, again, shows Peso's outlook on the world. And what I'm getting at so far from most of these songs is that Peso's outlook on the real world is just kind of, I mean, it tends to be kind of negative. I mean, I can tell that he's a dude who, honestly, I don't think he hates the world. I just think that he, like, while he also sees the world for, you know, positive things, there's times in the album where he's just really where he's like just negative towards the world. Like, I mean, sometimes, sometimes you'll have good times in the world, but sometimes, life will give you bullshit and, just fuck you up. But yeah, man, in this track, it basically just sees Peso's outlook on the world. He sees sometimes he feels that life is just boring and that there's nothing new. He feels that he's just doing the same thing over and over again, the same old daily routine. To be honest, Peso, I feel the same way too, man. I feel like there's really nothing to look forward to sometimes, so I feel you, man. And he feels that he needs to make his life more interesting. He feels like he has to do something. He feels that he just has to, live life to the fullest, and while he also shares his outlook on the world, he also hopes that, in the future, when he gets older and he's gone, he hopes that, his fans, people that knew him, he hopes that those people that were close to him will, honor his legacy, respect his name, and just, carry out his legacy. I thought that was quite insightful. I thought it was deep. I was like, damn, and yeah, man, that's basically it for that track. What I liked about this song, again, Peso just has this really consistent, amazing flow throughout every song. It's quite great. The flow is quite listenable. I thought it was great. Great singing as well, man. Like, damn. And I honestly, man, I can't sing, to be honest. So Peso, I have to congratulate you because your singing is absolutely amazing. So yeah, man, there's definitely not just a hip hop feel to this record, but there's also like an R&B feel that Peso not only provides, but as well as the people that he features on this album. Yeah, man, great singing, man. And I just love, and this is just one thing that I love about this album a lot. I love that Peso can incorporate these conscious themes in his music while still having really great, unique Funkadelic production that just appeals to the audience. Like, I just love how he can incorporate, conscious themes in his music while still appealing to the audience with catchy, laid-back Funkadelic production. And, that's really hard to do. It's kind of hard to just talk about something conscious in your music while still keeping the audience tuned in. It's hard to do that because sometimes you want to focus more on the story than you really do on the beat. Or sometimes you want to focus on the beat than you really do on the story. And I love how Peso kind of keeps a balance, He raps/sings to, really unique production while telling a great story. So I got to give you praise for that, my man, because that is hard to do. It's hard to do. I always find it a really hard time for me to do that in my music. I can't do it sometimes. As for the fourth track, my man, More to Go, featuring Seth Hazen. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm guessing, some of the features on this song, these people probably like, yo, Peso, are these people from Cleveland as well? Yo, definitely let me know. Like, do you actually like, are they from Cleveland? I'm guessing they are, but I could be wrong. But yeah, man, the beat to More to Go features a Funkadelic laid-back guitar production. Again, there's a lot of Funkadelic in this album, and also mixing with some guitar, which is cool. And the main theme from this song, essentially, Peso starts it off by saying that, he kind of took a break from music. He really needed to find himself. He needed to, I guess, focus more on his life. And I get that, man. I get that, yeah. Again, he felt pressured. There was times when he felt pressured. There was times when he just felt like crumbling to the pressure. He felt that there was no hope in life. And yeah, man, he also felt pressured to be a good father, because he was like, the man's got kids, which, that's pretty cool. And essentially he basically just reflects on the world again. There's a lot of really these consistent themes of Peso just kind of like expressing his outlook on the world and how sometimes it can be really bad and sometimes it can be good. But while he essentially feels pressured, he feels that there's more again that he can do with his life. He feels that he has a lot to live for, and he also feels that he can't crumble to the pressure. Again, this will relate back to the whole meaning of the album. I mean, the album is called Don't Look Down. Essentially, basically, Peso knows that he has to, be triumphant. He has to hold his head up high. He's got to keep his head up. He's got to do it for his family. He knows he cannot crumble to the pressure. So essentially, there's times when, Peso feels like crumbling, but he knows he's got to be strong, man. So much respect for that, man. Bro, your kids must think you're a really good father, man. Like, I can tell you're a really good father. Yeah, and there was just times, and I gotta talk about Seth's verse, because when he comes in, I love how he really was consistent with like the whole meaning of the song. The whole meaning of the song is basically how you should be triumphant, and on how you shouldn't crumble to the pressure. I love how Seth was really consistent with that. Sometimes it's kind of hard for the other person to kind of follow up with what you're doing. They may bring something else and you may not like it. But yeah, man, Seth, bro, I loved his verse. I thought it was great. Really great, consistent verse. His subdued type of flow, his voice was a little bit quieter than Peso's, but that didn't ruin the song at all. I mean, his flow is just kind of like a little bit lower, I guess, than Peso. Yeah, man, it was great. I feel like they both made a great team on the track. Definitely a lot of different chemistry. It's always cool to hear, how different sounds, on how different people sound when they do a collab. And yeah, man, honestly, I thought this was another good song, man. Another good song, just another favorite, to be honest. I loved Peso's amazing vivid storytelling. I just love how he's an artist that not only just focuses on the production of the song, but he also focuses on the story of the song. I thought that was great. Amazing vivid storytelling, great flow as always, and they were both very consistent with the message of the track. I have to much respect for that. And as for the fifth track, man, Can I Live? The beat of this song features again some guitar with some light percussion, a little bit of Funkadelic here and there, and the main theme of this song is basically Peso feels that he needs to challenge his beliefs. And he definitely does consider other viewpoints. He loves hearing people out. I can tell this dude is a really cooperative. Peso, you sound like a really cooperative dude. I love how you're willing to hear other people out. It's because nowadays everybody just wants to express their own opinion, and they want to believe that they're right, but they don't really take the time to just listen to other people. So much respect for you on that. And and in this track, we kind of get an introduction to Peso's family. He talks about his family. He talks about his mom, who, lost her job, and his dad, who, has to work part-time washing dishes. Yeah, man, it's not easy out there, man. And he also reflects on himself. He has a lot of problems, and he hopes that he can overcome these problems. And he just knows that he's got to do it. He's got to be triumphant again. This also will tie back to the whole theme of Don't Look Down, the album, where again, man, Peso, he has to feel triumphant. He has to be strong for his kids. He's got to do it for them. He doesn't want them to suffer. And bro, I can tell, bro, this dude is a great father, man. And he essentially wants to protect his kids from addiction and bad influences. That's facts, man. Nowadays, bro, I know people, I know peers that I knew since kindergarten or primary school. Nowadays, those same people that I knew from when I was a kid, those people literally just smoke and vape nowadays, man. So yeah, man, it's a crazy world out there. That's facts, man. You gotta definitely protect your kids from that. Yeah, addictions and bad influences. That's facts, man. Much respect, Peso. You're a great father, man. A great father. Again, what I like about this song, good flow, amazing singing from Peso, and it has essentially such a great message. I just loved how he said that he wanted to protect his kids from addiction and bad influences. I think that's a really good message, especially if you're a father, if you're a parent. Definitely a great message, man. The sixth track, man, Colors, is essentially the interlude. The beat features some hard percussion with some guitar, some funkadelic, and it's essentially some hip hop with some jazz. Peso did tell me there was going to be some jazz in it. I thought that was pretty cool. The production was it had a lot of variety, and that's what I always appreciate a record that has different sounds to it. It kind of reminded me of Kendrick Lamar's T-Pab, so I thought that was cool. The main theme essentially in this song is that Again, you know, it just goes back to that sort of theme of Peso feeling that he has a lot of problems. And I just love the metaphor this dude uses to just describe his problem. So the reason this song is called Colors Interlude, well, the reason it's called Colors is because Peso compares his emotions like the colors of the world. You know, this is a metaphor. And essentially these colors of the world represent his emotional state. And sometimes when he feels sad, he says that, you know, his outlook on the world starts becoming gray. So essentially the color of the world kind of like fades out and turns from, like, let's say blue to gray, you know. And I just love how Peso uses that. He uses the word colors as a metaphor, saying that, you know, my emotions are like colors of the world. If I'm feeling sad, then I just see the world as gray. So the color of the world just fades away into gray. I love that he used that as a metaphor. That is like so genius. Like, Peso, you're absolutely a genius, okay? Like, oh my God, that's such a good metaphor. Like, and that is, I don't know, man. This album is just really quite insightful. I love how insightful this album is. It's just crazy. And yeah, man, as the song just goes on, you know, Peso just, again, he's reflecting on the world. He fails to honestly just see the beauty in the world, especially in times when, you know, he's just going through a lot of problems, when he's just suffering a lot. And he also, and on the hook, he basically, one thing that stood out, especially in the hook to me, he said time doesn't heal anything. And that's facts, man. I mean, I feel like as time goes on, you know, if you're really going through something, it's really not going to heal. Sometimes they say that, you know, it'll heal through time, but nah, man, that pain kind of lasts forever, man. That's facts. And as for the pros of this song, man, I thought, again, amazing metaphor. I loved how he kind of compared his emotions to like the colors of the world fading out. Like, I thought that was genius. Great storytelling, great flow, amazing singing as always. And yeah, man, it seems that just he's going strong through every track. Every track just has this really cool R&B feel to it. I thought it was really great. The 7th track, man, Pink Water. The beat to Pink Water features a jazz, R&B, and Funkadelic type of production. The main theme in this one, basically, we start kind of getting I don't know, like, because like the majority of these songs, I would say like the first 6 songs in this album are kind of like just Peso's negative outlook on the world. But once we get to Pink Water, it starts getting a little bit more positive. I mean, we see essentially his love interest, you know, and he talks about, you know, this girl, you know, she's beautiful, she's dumb, and she likes to take risks, you know. And Peso, being this guy that loves her, he wants to be the best partner he can be. And basically, Peso, you know, doesn't hide their relationship. He loves talking about her, I can tell. He's not ashamed of being with her. So much respect, man. And he essentially just wants to do everything he can in his power to help her out. He doesn't want to lose her. And yeah, man, so basically in this song, it's quite a flip side to the entire theme of the album. The entire theme of the album is, you know, basically being triumphant, overcoming struggle. You know, it kind of reminds me of something similar to Will Cherry's Burgundy album. I thought that was cool. But this track is a little bit more positive, you know, because the other tracks just kind of had this negative outlook. It just showed Peso's negative outlook on the world. But this song just talks about his love interest. Essentially, people who probably make his life better. Love is a beautiful thing. What I like about this song, again, amazing vivid storytelling. I can tell that Peso is not just only a great singer, but he also has these really great, amazing storytelling skills. And I gotta appreciate that. Always love some great storytelling in a song. Great flow and amazing ad-libs. Really good ad-libs. You know, I just love the ad-libs that Peso has in his production. It really makes the production stand out really well. The 8th track, man, Another Day, featuring Drea Jade. This song has to be my favorite song off the album as well, and next to Going Up, because I just love the R&B and Funkadelic feel to it. You know, that's what the production is. Funkadelic, R&B, hip-hop, jazz, pop. The main theme of this song basically just adds more emphasis onto Pink Water. Because, you know, in Pink Water, we get a little bit of an introduction to, I would say, Peso's love interest. In this song, he just basically, it reflects on Peso's relationship with the girl, you know. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like there's a part where Peso kind of contradicts himself. I mean, in the song, he says that he wants to keep their relationship silent. I mean, that's what I got from it. But then in the last song, Pink Water, he said that he wanted their relationship to be out in the public. So I'm kind of confused. Like, I feel like he kind of contradicted himself there. He says he wants it to be he says he wants it to be public, but now he says he wants it to be private. I don't know. I thought that was weird. I don't know. But essentially, we get a lot more emphasis into essentially how this girl makes Peso feel. In this song, he talks about his emotions, essentially his emotions that he feels when he's with her. And he feels that essentially Peso, instead of acting like other couples, you know, he feels that they should talk their problems out. They should have no secrets. They should work out their differences. And I gotta have a lot of respect. You know, this dude, like, bro, you're a genius, man. Like, that's what being real is all about, you know, just no secrets. And that's what it's all about. And yeah, man. And he just goes on saying, you know, Peso, he doesn't want to focus on the past. He wants to focus on the future with her. And she wants her to feel secure with him. You know, Peso wants the girl to feel that, you know, that she could tell him anything, that she's safe around him, that she doesn't have to worry about anything. Damn. And I just have to just give an applause to Drea, man. Drea with that amazing singing. That not only makes the production stand out a lot more, which it does, but it's just a great blend with the R&B and hip hop jazz feel of this record. I mean, it just makes it sound way better. I'm telling you, Drea, bro, she's amazing. Like, I would definitely love to collaborate with her one day, man, you know. Hit me up, Drea, like, can, because you're a really good singer. Yeah, man. Great vivid storytelling, amazing R&B and Funkadelic production. I feel like that just makes the album stand out a lot more. As for the 9th track, man, It's Good Till It's Bad featuring Cam Stevens. The beat to this one, you know, it's some hard percussion with some Funkadelic. The main theme of this one, it just, again, I feel like it's still, it's not just Peso reflecting on their relationship with the girl, but it's also just basically talking about life in general. You know, there's times when, you know, life will be good, and you're gonna feel good about it, but you have to understand that life can be bad sometimes. It's good till it's bad, essentially. That's what it's trying to say. That sometimes life will be good, but you also have to understand that it can get bad as well, man. And it talks about basically, you know, not getting too comfortable. Peso feels that in life, you got to take risks, especially to get what you want. Sometimes you got to take risks, and sometimes those risks will be good or they'll be bad. Yeah, man. And he also just basically, Pace also feels, you know, he also wants to provide for his family. He wants to help his mom out, his dad out, give back to them. That's facts, man, you know, because, like, they raised you all your life. It's always good to, you know, to just give back to your mom and dad for all they did for you. That's facts, man. And yeah, man, again, this is basically a song that's a little bit similar to the first 6 songs on this album. I mean, he's basically, again, reflecting on the good and bad times that he's had, you know, but this one is a little, I would say this one is a little bit less, I don't know, but yeah. As for the pros in this one, man, I love Cam's amazing singing. Again, this is also one of my favorite songs off the album. Like, damn, like, bro, most of the people that are on here are amazing singers. Like, just wow. Like, oh my God. And I feel like their singing just made the production of the album stand out a lot more. So essentially, it just made them stand out a lot more. And yeah, man, the 10th track, Are We There Yet? The beat of this track is laid back acoustic production. The main theme of this one just honestly we kind of hear Peso kind of like, you know, questioning life and its obstacles. And he feels that, he also asks himself, you know, well, can you find peace with yourself when you're losing? Are you able to find peace within your mind when you're, you know, going through something? And he essentially also says asks himself, you know, will he lose hope when everything goes bad? Like, will he be able to maintain hope if, you know, something bad happens? These are all really thought-provoking questions. Like, oh my God. And he also not only reflects on that, but he also goes even deeper and even like talks about maybe like what will happen to him after he dies. Will he be able, you know, will he see the light, or will everything just go dark? Like, wow. Man, bro, like these are some really deep questions. He also reflects on people that have passed away. Possibly, you know, he mentions the word kids. But I feel like it's bigger than that. I feel like Peso maybe is reflecting on, you know, essentially maybe like iconic acts that have passed away in hip hop as well, not just like a lot of people that have died. Well, I mean, technically, you know, he recorded this album last year, so I can see why that would show up in an album like this. Because, yeah, man, a lot of people died last year, man, and it's not getting any better either, man. Damn. But yeah, man, I can relate to this song a lot, and that's what I like about it. Like, there's a lot of songs in this album that I can relate to well, you know, and the emotion is quite powerful. You know, I just like, it's always good to have emotion when you're making music, you know, because I feel like the more emotion you have, the more your audience will resonate with you. Like, the more your audience will essentially like relate with what you're going through. It's always good to have that emotion, you know. It makes you as an artist just stand out a lot more, definitely. And again, man, bro, Peso, you do a really good job on merging conscious themes in your music while still appealing to the audience. Applaud, man. That's great, man. Like, it's really good. But yeah, man, that is the end of this review, man. Overall, man, I thought this was a pretty decent album. I thought it was a great second album. I might honestly review his first album. I forgot what it's called, but I know he released it in 2019. But yeah, man, overall a great, strong second album. I feel like Peso absolutely killed it. He was quite insightful. I just loved his outlook on life, and I honestly just quite related with this album a lot, because it's like, you know, I also kind of feel the same way. You know, sometimes life isn't easy. The real world can be cruel, you know, and it's sometimes just hard to, you know, just seek security within yourself mentally and emotionally. But yeah, man, overall, great album. It was quite insightful, amazing production. I love how there was like a variety of production, great flow, great singing. And yeah, man, great album. My final rating for this album is going to be an 8 out of 10. Again, great concept album. I just feel that Peso, you definitely, you know, should work on your pronunciation a lot more. You know, it'll, you know, make your words stand out a lot more. You know, definitely, you know, try to say your words a lot more clearly. And also, you know, try not to make your hooks long, because like in some songs you kind of made your hooks way too long, and you honestly just left a lot of room for potential. You know, there was a lot of like lost potential, especially in songs such as Going Up. I feel like you could have maybe added a second verse. So yeah, definitely try not to make your hooks too long, you know, and also try to add a second verse, because that's going to make songs like Going Up stand out a lot more. But yeah, man, 8 out of 10 for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. And yeah, man, do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Have you guys listened to the album? Link in description for you guys to listen to the album. You know, go follow Peso on Instagram, Spotify, link in description. And I'll see you guys on the next video.